I hope you're enjoying this devotional series on the sounds of the season, and we're looking at Christmas carols, their origin, their inspiration, their application to us today. So today's choice is Hark the Herald Angels Sing. I remember when my son asked Jesus into his heart at a young age, and we said, "Oh, the angels in heaven are rejoicing." He turned over and frowned and said, "I don't want those angels singing about me." And we laughed. But it must be odd to a kid to imagine angels with wings singing beside him. Heck, it's even hard for us to imagine. And yet here we are singing a carol about the angels singing. The person that wrote this hymn was Charles Wesley. In fact, he wrote 6,000 hymns, and it was said his goal in writing all the hymns was to teach the poor and illiterate about the gospel message. Pretty cool. The words, "Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King," begin this song. And then it says, "God and sinners reconciled." And we're to join in the triumph in the sky and with the angelic host proclaim that Christ is born. So the sound for this Devo is proclaiming. Jesus' birth was so profound and historical that it changed the angels' song, and they began rejoicing and proclaiming the good news. The word proclaim or proclamation seems like an old term we don't hear very often. Back on Halloween, my husband and I wore a t-shirt. He wore a pretzel and I wore one with the newsboy that shouted, or was the newsboy carrier. And it was we were going as twist and shout. But a newsboy often proclaimed the news to the town when he sold his papers. And Jesus' birth was worth proclaiming. In Exodus 9, it says God's name will be proclaimed throughout the earth. In Exodus 34:6, it says that God proclaimed to Moses that the Lord was compassionate, gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness. God apparently wants who he is proclaimed to the earth, and it began by proclaiming and bringing attention to the fact that the King of Kings was born in a lowly manger. That was the first presentation of Jesus in human form in the lowest of circumstances, so that must be a pretty important fact. The greatness of our God was proclaimed by the lowliness of his birth and the astounding acknowledgement of his worth. Let me say that again. The greatness of our God was proclaimed by the lowliness of his birth and the astounding acknowledgement of his worth. In Psalm 19:1, it says the skies proclaim the work of his hands. Psalm 35:28 says, "My tongue will proclaim your righteousness, your praises all day long." And Psalm 92:2 says, "Proclaiming your love in the morning and faithfulness at night," that we're supposed to do that. Matthew 4:23, we see Jesus going through the towns, like the town crier that was on my shirt, proclaiming the good news that he had come to heal the sick and the diseased, and that the deaf would hear, the lame would walk, and there was all kinds of proclamations about his deeds. In 1 Corinthians 11, it talks about communion and how it proclaims the Lord's death until he comes. 1 John 1:1 says that which was from the beginning, which we have heard and seen with our eyes, looked at with our and touched with our hands. This we proclaim concerning the word of life. And finally in Revelation, we come back to angels. It says, "I saw another angel flying in midair, and he had eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people." Evidently, proclaiming is a big deal, and it started with Jesus in the manger. So could it be that one of our biggest proclamations to make around the world is the humility of the gospel? We're here to serve, to sacrifice, to love at all cost, to represent the one who died for us and rose again, and proclaim by the lives we live and the words we speak that Jesus is alive and well and worthy of our praise. A proclamation is a declaration, and it's something that needs to be heard by every single person in town. The news that's happening. Hark the herald angels sing. Glory to the newborn King. Hail the Son of righteousness, light and life to all he brings, risen with healing in his wings. Mild he lays his glory by, born that man no more may die.